Welcome, esteemed viewers, to a deep tactical breakdown of this past week's NBA action. I'm Mark Thompson, veteran league analyst. Joining me is former professional coach and defensive strategist Sarah Chen.
Thank you, Mark. A fascinating week of basketball, with several games that demand serious scrutiny, not just for the scores, but for the underlying trends. Let's start where the week began, Monday, April 6th.
Monday, April 6th. Three key contests. San Antonio Spurs 115, Philadelphia 76ers 102. On paper, a comfortable win for the Spurs. But Sarah, what stood out to you?
The Spurs' defensive discipline against Joel Embiid. Philadelphia tried to force the ball inside early, but San Antonio's hybrid zone, with Wembanyama floating as the high anchor, completely disrupted Philadelphia's spacing. Embiid finished with only 18 points on 6 of 17 shooting. That's a masterclass in limiting a superstar without double-teaming every possession. The Sixers' perimeter shooting, 9 of 34 from 3, was abysmal, but I'd credit the Spurs' closeouts.
Agreed. Meanwhile, the Knicks edged the Hawks 108-105. That game was a slugfest. Jaylen Brown had 31 points, but Atlanta's Trae Young shot just 8 of 23. What's your critique there?
New York's switching defense on Young was excellent. They kept a big on him in pick and roll to force pull-ups rather than floaters. However, the Knicks nearly lost because of their own stagnant half-court offense down the stretch. 4 shot clock violations in the fourth quarter is unacceptable for a playoff-bound team. That's a coaching red flag.
And then the thriller, Denver Nuggets 136, Portland Trailblazers 134 in overtime. Nikola Jokic posted a 32-15-12 triple-double, but Portland's rookie Scoot Henderson dropped 38 points and 10 assists. How do you assess Denver's defense here?
Honestly, Mark, it was troubling. Denver allowed Portland to shoot 54% from the field and 45% from 3. Their transition defense was late repeatedly. Jokic's individual brilliance masked that their perimeter rotations are still a step slow. If they face a high-paced team like Oklahoma City in the playoffs, that's a problem. Portland's loss, however, was pure inexperience. 3 unforced turnovers in the final 2 minutes of OT.
Tuesday, April 7th, streaks and seeding. Moving to Tuesday, Denver wins its 9th straight, beating an unnamed opponent. Reports indicate it was a back-to-back against Portland again, or perhaps a different team. Sources confirm the Nuggets extended their streak. More importantly, the Detroit Pistons clinched the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Let's pause there. Detroit, the #1 seed?
It's real, Mark. Cade Cunningham has evolved into a top 5 MVP candidate. Their defense, ranked 2nd in the league, is built on switchable wings and Isaiah Stewart's rim protection. But I have a concern. Their half-court offense in clutch situations ranks 14th. Clinching early is great, but they've coasted against weaker East opponents. Their last 10 games include wins over Charlotte, Washington twice, and Chicago. I need to see them beat a full-strength Boston or Milwaukee before I call them finals favorites.
Fair point. The streak is impressive, but strength of schedule matters. Wednesday, April 8th, a 10-game slate. 2 highlights you flagged, Boston hosting Charlotte and Houston visiting Phoenix. Let's start with Boston versus Charlotte.
Boston won 121-99, but the real story was Jaylen Brown's 41 points on 16 of 22 shooting. Charlotte's perimeter defense was atrocious. No help on screens, late rotations. I'd criticize the Hornets' coaching staff. They didn't adjust to Brown's mid-range game until the fourth quarter when it was already over. That's a systemic breakdown.
Meanwhile, Houston visited Phoenix. The Rockets have been red hot. What did you see?
Houston won 118-110, and it was their defense that impressed me. They held Kevin Durant to 8 of 21 shooting. Dillon Brooks was physical but disciplined, only 2 fouls. Phoenix's offense looked stagnant, relying on isolation. But here's my critique of Houston. They turned the ball over 19 times. Against a smarter team, that's a loss. Their young core, Green, Şengün, and Smith, still make reckless passes in transition. Ime Udoka has them playing with playoff intensity.
So the streak is real, but the competition has been middling.
Exactly. They've beaten Portland, San Antonio, and Philadelphia's B team. Let's see them against Denver or Memphis.
Friday, April 10th, Wembanyama's masterclass. Friday gave us a signature performance. Wembanyama with 40 points and 13 rebounds as the Spurs beat the Mavericks 139-120. We've never seen a 7'4" player handle the ball like this. Critique?
Offensively, it was breathtaking. He hit 5 of 8 from 3, drove from the perimeter, and posted up. But defensively, Dallas exploited him in pick and roll by forcing him to guard Luka Doncic on switches. Doncic scored 28 points, many on stepbacks over Wembanyama. The Spurs scheme left Wemby on an island too often. A better defensive coach would hedge or trap. So while the stat line is historic, his defensive discipline on switches remains a work in progress.
And Dallas's defense? They allowed 139 points at home.
Unforgivable. Jason Kidd's team had no rim protection once Derek Lively fouled out. They gave up 62 points in the paint. That's not playoff-ready defense.
Saturday, April 11th, Heat dominate, Hawks surprise. Finally, Saturday, Miami Heat 140, Washington Wizards 117, Washington's 9th straight loss, and Atlanta Hawks 124, Cleveland Cavaliers 102, snapping Cleveland's 4-game streak. Let's start with the Wizards.
The Wizards have quit. I don't say that lightly. They allowed Miami to shoot 58% from the field and 52% from 3. No defensive rotations, no transition effort. That's a coaching and culture issue. Brian Keefe's job has to be in jeopardy. The Heat, meanwhile, looked sharp. Jimmy Butler had 28 points in 26 minutes. Miami is peaking at the right time.
And the Atlanta Cavaliers game, that's a genuine upset.
Absolutely. Cleveland came in riding high, but Atlanta exposed their weakness. Slow-footed bigs on the perimeter. Clint Capella and Onyeka Okongwu dragged Evan Mobley away from the rim. Then DeJounte Murray and Trae Young attacked the paint. Cleveland's defense allowed 124 points, and Donovan Mitchell shot 5 of 17. My critique? The Cavaliers have become overly reliant on Mitchell's heroics. When he's off, their offense stagnates. They need more movement away from the ball.
So, overarching themes from the week: Denver's defensive lapses, Detroit's unproven clutch play, Houston's hollow streak, and Wembanyama's brilliance with room to grow.
And one more. The bottom of the East, Washington, Charlotte, and Chicago, is effectively tanking. That inflates win streaks. We have to be careful not to overreact to numbers without context.
Excellent analysis as always, Sarah.
Thank you, Mark.
To our viewers, we hope this detailed critique has sharpened your understanding of the week that was. For more in-depth discussions and expert analysis, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. Your engagement allows us to continue bringing you credible, source-based sports commentary. Until next week, stay analytical.